Hi YouTube, I'm Crystal from Crystalsewsandstuff.com. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Crystal and here I share sewing pattern reviews, sewing tips and techniques, and other fun related content. So today I'm here to share with you my review of New Look 6554. And this is a really fun pattern, and I sewed up this pattern to participate in the Sew Romp Jump Play 22 Instagram challenge put on by Val of 85th and Wade here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. And this is a really fun challenge that she created to kind of celebrate jumpsuits. And so to participate in this challenge, you have to sew up a jumpsuit, a romper, or a play suit between September 25th, 6th through October 25th, 2022. And so this is a really fun challenge. And so I decided to go with jumpsuit because I love to sew jumpsuits. And I'll leave a link to Val's challenge so you can find out more information about this really fun challenge, and you can go ahead and see what other people are sewing for this really fun challenge. So now let's get on to the review. So I picked New Look 6554, and thank you so much for all of your input. Everyone just about selected this pattern for when I was deciding between this pattern and another jumpsuit pattern. Everyone picked this pattern, so thanks everyone for all of your input on helping me select the pattern. And I picked up this pattern because I really like the chic style lines of it. I like the crossover front, and then the fact that it has grow-on sleeves, and that it's a kind of a relaxed knit kind of chic style. So that's why I picked this pattern. And so thanks again for all of your input on helping me to narrow it down. So anyway, I'm so glad I picked it, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So now let me tell you a bit about the pattern. So this pattern is designed for knit fabric. So and the fabric suggestions for it are ITY knits, which are super stretchy knits, and jerseys. The fabric that I chose is this suede knit from Joann Fabrics that I picked up, I think about 2 years ago, but they do still have this fabric at Joann's, and I'll leave a link to the fabric in the description box so you can go ahead and check it out, or just go ahead, pop into your Joann's and see if they have it in person if you have a Joann's near you. But anyway, this is a really nice fabric for you to pick, and it has a good amount of stretch. And I did go ahead and check the stretch guide to make sure there was enough stretch in it, and there was. Even though this is only like, it's not really a two-way stretch, it's more of a one-way stretch, and it still worked out. So I just made sure the stretch was going across my body instead of the opposite way, where there was a little bit less stretch in the opposite direction. But anyway, this weight of fabric is really good for this pattern. So if you wanted to pick up this fabric, it works really well with this with the pattern. So there are 3 views of this pattern. So you have the jumpsuit as well as 2 dresses, and the dresses are in 2 lengths. You have just a knee length dress as well as a long maxi dress with a slit. So there's a lot of options on this pattern if you do decide to pick it up. So you can sew up the dress version or the jumpsuit version at any time. And then there are on the picture they have like two diagrams of the girl in view A. She has she's using a rope to tie the front. I didn't really like that look, and I don't have matching rope to go around the waist. So I went with the tie belt, the fabric self. So I went with the self fabric belt in the front, and I like that look a lot better than the rope. So those are the 2 options for the waist tie, for tying the front. But it is gathered with elastic, so you do need 1/4 inch elastic for the waist. And then in the front is a crossover style, and you need a binding. I use a red bias binding to finish off the edges. So that was pretty easy. So there aren't a lot of notions that you need for the pattern, so you just need some bias tape and some elastic. And if you wanted to do the version with the rope, you would need a piece of rope fabric. I'm thinking like the kind of fabric that you would use to make pillows. Sometimes they have that pretty rope at Joann's that people use it to trim pillows. But I don't see what other kind of rope you would use. But anyway, I didn't really care for the rope style, so I went with the tie front belt. So now let's get on to the sizing. So for the sizing, the pattern is available in sizes 6 to 18. And the measurements are, bust measurements are from 30.5 inches through 40 inches, waist of 23 inches to 32 inches, and then hips of 32.5 inches to 42 inches. And then there's not a whole lot of ease built into the pattern, although it is a knit, so you do kind of get a little extra ease just because of the stretchiness of the knit. So the finished measurements on the pattern paper was for the bust of between 36 inches for final measurement to 45.5 inches, and hips of 35 inches to 44.5 inches. I didn't see the waist markings on the pattern sheets for the pattern, but it's only about 2 inches ease, it seems like, all around in the bust, waist, and hips. And for the fit, so the fit, I think it fits pretty well. I sewed up a size 14 in the bust area, and then I graded to a size 16 in the hip area. And what I did was I just took the pants pieces and I went in from a 16 at the markings, and I graded down into a 14. So I didn't make any changes to the top pieces. So I just cut a straight size 14 for the top, for the front pieces, and then the back piece. And so I like how that turned out. I mean, the top part is a little big on me, so I could have went down to a size 12, but it's still, you know, very wearable. And I could easily throw on a tank top under this at any time, you know, just to feel a little bit more secure. But I mean, it's pretty wearable just as is, but I should have probably went down to a size 12 just to bring it up a little bit. And I could even unpick it and then redo the front a little bit just to bring it in just a bit, but I probably won't do that. But I'm happy with how it turned out with the sizing that I used. And the other change that I made was I cut off the bottom at a size 12 because I'm 5'1", and for whatever reason, some patterns think you get taller as you go up in the size. So I cut it off at a size 12 because I'm 5'1", and I didn't want it was going to be super long on me. So that took off about another 2.5 inches on the bottom. And so that's what I did. I usually do that a lot. I just cut it off at a smaller size on the bottom, especially if it's a straight hem. So that's what I did, just cut it off at a size 12 instead of going down to a 16, which would have been like a whole extra 2-3 inches longer on me. So anyway, those are the only changes I made. And then another minor tweak that I made was I decided to go ahead and use a different fabric for the pockets. So there are pockets on the pattern, and so I decided to use a nice lightweight rayon fabric for the pockets from a previous project. So I used that so my pockets wouldn't be too bulky. So I really like how that turned out with these the inside pockets in a different kind of fabric. So the directions were very clear and straightforward, and there aren't a lot of pattern pieces. There are a total of 7 pattern pieces in the pattern, and you only use 6 of them. You have your front pattern piece cut out twice. You have your back pattern piece cut out twice. You have your front pants cut twice. Then you have your back pants pattern piece cut twice. Then you have your pocket piece, which you cut out 4 for the pockets, and then you have your tie belt, which is cut twice, and you just sew that down really easy. And then pattern 6 is pattern piece number and the last pattern piece is the skirt piece, and so you don't need that for the jumpsuit version. So it's only 6 pattern pieces for either version, you know, in total. So I really like this pattern. It's really a really easy and straightforward pattern. The directions were very clear and detailed. They even tell you how to understitch the binding down, and so that's the only thing I would say a beginner will have to take their time doing, is just sewing down the binding, the bias binding. I would also say, as a tip for this pattern, make sure you pick a bias binding that matches pretty closely. I use this red kind of satiny bias binding that I've had forever, that I picked up in New York a while ago, and it matches pretty well. I wish I had something a little more with a more orange tinge, but this is one I had to use. I couldn't really do my own bias binding with the self fabric because this is a kind of a thick fabric. So this rayon really worked out really well as a binding, and it matches pretty well. So when you lean over a tad bit, it'll show a little bit. So that's why I say go ahead and select the binding that matches really well, that you don't mind like showing if you move while you move. So just make sure you do that so that you won't have it looking like you don't want to pick, you know, a purple binding or something like that that totally doesn't match. You want to just pick something that matches really closely to your fabric choice. So I'm very happy with how this jumpsuit turned out, and I would suggest this pattern to sewers of all levels. And so now let me share with you some fun pics and twirls of me wearing this really cute jumpsuit, and I paired it with my favorite fall boots, brown boots. I think it goes really well with the kind of rust color in this pattern. So here are the pics and twirls. The pics and twirls of New Look 6554, and I really had fun with this make. If you want to see more pictures of other jumpsuits and play suits for this sewing challenge, be sure to head over to Val's channel at 85th and Wade, as well as check out the hashtag SewRompJumpPlay22 on Instagram so you can see other people's makes of this really fun challenge. So anyway, that's everything I had to share with you. Let me know if you have any questions. If you've sewn up this pattern before, let me know how you liked it. And anyway, I hope you all get a chance to participate in this really fun challenge, because jumpsuits are really fun, a really fun option to wear, all in one outfit that you can wear to a lot of different occasions. I could easily see me wearing this, you know, with some sneakers as well to make it a more even more relaxed look, and it's really comfortable to wear. But anyway, I hope you all get a chance to participate in this really fun challenge, and until next time, take care. Bye.